Ooh, that's kind of controversial.
Is it?
I mean, you got it wrong anyway. But you could potentially say it's 8. Anyway,
I was gonna say A.
Anyway, what is this symbol? That is the bass clef.
That's an easy one. Come on, I should have gotten that
Alright.
one. Feck's sake, Greg.
And I think you have to be flexible. You have to be adaptable to survive as a creative sort. So yeah, I was going off to play a game of Astro actually. So at about 45 minutes, and I was like, do you know what? I'll just write something really quick. So I was like, long lost brother, long lost sister. No, that sounds awful. Long lost friend. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I'll run with that.
But anyway, look, without further ado, let's introduce our first act today, guys. And it's the amazing Greg Clifford. He's a singer-songwriter, guys, session musician, producer, song arranger, and filmmaker. Please welcome him to our couch. We're going to get to know him a little bit better. What's the story, Greg? Welcome, welcome. Absolutely, yeah. I think we've measured everything out perfectly. So we're exactly 2.3 meters away from each other, which is excellent. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, man, it's great to be here. The only thing is, can I get some hand sanitizer for this? Is that
hand
safe?
Sanitizer, yeah. I'll just get that. I think that person that was here earlier might
That
be able to
person,
sort you out, whoever that was there.
Semi-degenerate.
Yeah, well, you know, I guess it's the location, isn't it? You know.
Comes with it, doesn't it?
I'll stop right there. No. But look, so good to see you. We've been sharing our sort of thoughts, and I've been learning a lot more about you through a 2D platform called Zoom, right? Most of the time. So it's really nice to see you in the physical form. Obviously spent some great time with you as well when you did your recordings, which were obviously the people at home are going to check out. Long Lost Friend, we just had a little bit of a sample of it there. Absolutely mesmerizing track. A lot of hard work clearly put into it. A lot of hard work clearly gets put into a lot of stuff you do. Tell us a little bit about what's been kind of going on in your world lately, because I know you're preparing for an album, and tell us a little bit about how you're kind of navigating it all.
Yeah, as of right now, I suppose I'm working on storyboarding the next music video. So the next release should be, I'd imagine, maybe the start of June. So that track would be Redemption. So yeah, I just need to get a music video together and build up the, it's always working within limitations and boundaries, and, even working within a 5K radius the last while. But that's the nature of art, isn't it? You got to identify those limitations, but try and push the boundaries also in order to survive, which I guess is kind of part of what even Long Lost Friend is about. Meeting any adversity head on, identifying it, and just trying to better yourself, trying to be authentic, and try to just be defiant in the face of any of that adversity, really.
Yeah, and it's quite that time, isn't it, of adversity and restrictions and sort of boundaries. And we kind of spoke about it a little bit in the pre-interview of kind of like, it can be a little bit difficult to stay creative within certain parameters, but parameters can be good too. Have you found yourself behaving differently or sort of approaching music or advertising differently with these parameters that have been set out?
Yeah, well, parameters, like, it's imperative to impose some parameters, because if you don't, you can end up overwhelmed by possibility and maybe not do anything, What do I do? Well, like the last 15 months, it's been a golden opportunity also to chip away at my creative to-do list, to be honest.
I'd say it's pretty huge, isn't it, that list, I'd say?
Yeah.
Knowing you, how many projects you were able to do and how talented you are, it must be a massive list of things.
Like, I'm a project whore, that's it. Why I am, I don't know.
I'm there with you. I feel it. I think it's great, but yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if I've really done anything different other than, well, I've probably become more prolific, I think, a little bit more focused in my discipline. I mean, I did start a vlog type thing called the GC Angle. So that was my lockdown project to try and connect with people on a different level. And seeing as it's all the rage and in vogue, I'm going Patreon. Also.
Brilliant. Yeah. And what do you do on that vlog? Is that you talk about songs and stuff?
Yeah, they're about 15 minutes each video, and I just discuss the origin of the song, the sources of inspiration, the subject matter, some of the philosophies behind it, referencing sources of inspiration, be that musical ones, or philosophy, literature, films, whatever. And then I weave in a little bit of music theory also.
Brilliant. Yeah, of course, we're going to get to the music theory part as well, because we've actually prepared something for you today, which I'm going to let you know in a little bit. I've spoken too much already. But yeah, speaking about, I suppose, like sort of the past work that you've done, you obviously, you played in a project with Keto, our very own Keto, right? He was the bass player for that project, Elevator. We're not going to go into too much. I think we've touched it before, so I won't put you on the spot. But with Quadlibet, right? So that was your album that was released in 2016, was it, if I'm not mistaken, 2017. But it gained a lot of inspiration back in 2015 when you went to Berlin, right? So tell us a little bit about that stint, because you went to Berlin for 6 months to sort of gain experience or gain some inspiration. Tell us a little bit about that. I'd be very interested to hear that.
Yeah, that was really important, because prior to that, you know, with the band ending, and we'd put a lot of time into that, a lot of effort, and we were getting good numbers at the shows, and you just get that, you know, you buy into the idea that you're going to get big, it's just going to be a snowball effect, and for whatever reason, it just began to dissipate a little bit. The wheels came off, you know. So I found myself meandering a small bit, a little bit lost, a little bit going through the motions too, and even suffering to come to terms with the fact that I was a singer-songwriter. I don't really love that term. I know by definition I am that, a dude that sings and plays guitar, but there's a certain sound or an image associated with the new age singer-songwriter. You know, and I'm not Dermot Kennedy, I'm not George Ezra, I'm not Ed Sheeran, you know, I'm not knocking any of those dudes completely. But, you know, that's just not really my scene or my sound. And if somebody was to see my name, an Irish guy, singer-songwriter, they might anticipate a certain sound, and then I'm not really delivering that or you know, or fulfilling their expectations. So that was kind of tricky. But I knew myself that I had potential that I just wasn't tapping into, that I wasn't unlocking. So that was the inspiration, or that was the motivating factor to go to Berlin. That was the incentive. I definitely need to change. And like, Berlin is so vibrant. I had visited there before, and it really appealed to me. You know, Berlin never sleeps, and it's so accommodating to all sorts of madcap people. You know what I mean? That's my bag. You know. So yeah, I went there, and I mean, the rent was incredibly cheap. I got a place for 2.5 months. That was something like 450 quid. So that was obviously conducive to not having to find work. And I had my savings anyway, and I was doing a bit of graphic design work. So, yeah, it was just a case of focusing and just throwing myself into the deep end. And, yeah, devoid of distraction. And the songs of Quadlibet were born. They were shaped. And, yeah, it was a seminal moment in my musical journey. And without a doubt, I progressed as a musician, you know, and it was just a wonderful experience, really.
Yeah, it seems like a massive sort of point of transition for you, that moment. And I suppose the band wouldn't have finished too far behind, or you were still, because I remember you doing check-in gigs, I think, as a solo artist, right? So that would have been before that period, I believe, right? It would have been 2014 maybe that we might have met, or 2013.
Early 2014.
So
it's hard to know, isn't it?
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, how time sort of moves on as well. I'm trying to think back as well. Our next guest, Layla Jane, when did I meet her? And it's actually been a few years. We've all been kind of in the scene sort of together, seeing each other now and then and stuff. So it's interesting to see your sort of progression as well as an artist, and your evolution. But it's just interesting how many projects you are capable of doing, and sort of seeing which one you actually land on as well, just going back to the project thing. And I guess it is kind of where you are at mentally, right? What you're ready to sort of approach with. And but some amazing music has come out, and you've collaborated with a lot of great musicians as well, haven't you, over the years? Tell us a little bit about the collaborations, and not collaborate, but I suppose you brought musicians in, as much as you play a lot of different instrumentation in your music too, because you give off that big kind of band sound, right, in your recordings.
Yeah, again, that's kind of trying to get away from being the stereotypical singer-songwriter. And also the fact that, like, I studied music in college, and I want what I create to be a synthesis of all the things that I've studied and all the eclectic source of inspiration that I have. But yeah, Quadlibet 2017, that came out. That album had, like, it was pretty much 95% me. So I was playing the drums, bass, keys. I did the majority of the backing vocals. So that was cool. I kind of wanted to prove to myself that I can. But with the next project, which was, well, there was a couple of singles in between, but the next big project was the one I took on in 2019, Lines of Desire. So it's the forthcoming album. And I was, I set my musical checklist, and at the top of it was to collaborate with others or to get different musicians in, because having other musicians unlocks something different. It gets me to ask other questions about the tracks. And it also allowed me to slip into a kind of musical director role. And then that creates its own authentic sound that just unfolds organically then.
Yeah, it's interesting. So you played almost a different role in that. Plus you got perhaps a different perspective, right, on the musical. Sort of you got to see the project a little bit more distance, whereas if you're doing all the work, you can sort of get sucked in and almost perhaps not get a different opinion almost on things where, and you seem to have taken to the role very well. It must have been fun. So our first one, for Lines of Desire, we had 2 songs. I remember I had to ask you earlier and I was like, which one was the first one for the album? So this is the album that's coming out. It's coming out this year, Lines of Desire?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get it out by the end of October anyway, because November and December gets a little bit too fairy tale New York.
True, very true.
People are in the doldrums and the despair of January. So I think it has to be October. I need to get it out just to move on.
Yeah, because you've got some things I'm sure already in your mind for this year and for next. Brontide, the first one of the songs, which is already out on YouTube as well. You have the music video down, and Long Lost Friend as well, of course. How many more tracks are we expecting coming up to October? You're going to release them as singles, I take it.
Yeah, so there'll be one in June coming out. That's Redemption.
Brilliant.
And to coincide with the album coming out, I won't put it out as a single, but I think the opening track, Ambiguity, I've got an idea for a music video. So yeah, I think I'll just create that, and that will be the track to just, get a little bit of attention or whatever, play the game.
Brilliant. And tell us a little bit about as well. You work with your dad as well, and you do filming projects, kind of production, video production stuff. Tell us a little bit about that business and how are you able to still do stuff through the lockdowns?
We did a few things. Like maybe June or July of last year, we filmed for an opera singer mate of mine. We did a few little mini documentary things. When things opened up a little bit, kind of in August, September, October, we could do some work. But the whole working with my dad, it just happened organically, really. He's a fantastic artist. Like he's a true innate artist. He's a graphic designer. He used to do performance art.
I've seen a video of him breaking out of concrete.
Yeah. Oh, he's a madman. Yeah, he's a certified lunatic, no doubt.
Now, I met him at a gig and he seems absolutely normal. So is that side still, does he still have that part of him?
Sometimes it's the silent ones you've got to be worried about, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Yeah.
I mean, he's got the mad kind of Einstein hair going.
That's like Adam a little bit now. He's very quiet. He just don't know what he's going to come out with. Yeah, no, it's very interesting.
But so we started doing videos from me in 2015, 2016. And then after the Back to Basics tour documentary, or not even the documentary, but the tour that I went on with Ian Brennan and Barry J. Hughes, the 2 lads wanted us to do videos. So we did. And then we did work with spoken word artists, and it just unfolded. It was all just quite, we didn't push it. We've never even advertised for a job, actually. It's all just word of mouth.
Amazing. I mean, cool. It's in the industry that you're in as well, so I guess it ties in with, because obviously under normal circumstance, especially now with the recent release, you would be gigging pretty regularly. As a singer-songwriter, it's great to be gigging in Dublin, isn't it? Because you're on your own in a way, but you're also surrounded by a pretty decent songwriting community. There's a lot of people that are either supportive or not, or however, but there's a lot of frequent singer-songwriter nights, right?
Oh, there's plenty of platforms to be playing on, and there will be people there, even if they're not coming exclusively for your show. There's an opportunity every night to reach out to new people and get new reactions. Yeah. So how is it? It's
obviously different now because you don't get that live sort of return off people when you're playing. So Long Lost Friend, I mean, maybe you played it before. Did you get the chance to play that live in front of an audience? You have. Okay, so that's great. So you got that sort of reciprocation. How important is that to you then, that sort of reciprocation? Does it influence you in any way in your songwriting?
Yeah, well, we all want we all want a pat on the back, you know what I mean? We all want accolades and recognition. And being a DIY independent artist, you don't, it's irregular. It's kind of sporadic work. It's strange, you know what I mean? It's not like working in a company 9 to 5 and then you move up the ladder, you get your raise, whatever. You got someone to kind of validate you, or at least your efforts are measured in a different way. That doesn't really happen for musicians. So there's times you're kind of staring into the abyss, and the abyss is looking back at you, and you're going, what is this all about? What am I doing? Am I improving? I mean, with pragmatic, objective thought, you can measure it up. But to not have the reaction of the audience, that just really intensifies how difficult the last while has been. But I did get to play Long Lost Friend live. In fact, I kind of wrote it during the Back to Basics tour in a weird way. Actually, the whole song was quite strange. I started writing it for a song company. So I started writing it before I knew that I would be the one performing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so did you release it? Like, what happened with the song company then? Did that just...
Well, I got the brief sent to me, and it was something like home, leaving something behind. It was quite a bit open, you know what I mean? Kind of almost nebulous. But we were given the key, the suggested time signature, and the idea being that maybe 8, 9 or 10 of you get together with a similar subject matter, and you just collaborate, and you get this song together, you pitch it, and hopefully make a load of money. You get the royalties. Now, it never really sat that well with me. I find it quite almost contrived and formulaic, and not knowing who you're writing for. You're not knowing the capacity of the musician or what they're all about. But I said I'd try it, because you never know. It could be opening up a new door. And I think you have to be flexible. You have to be adaptable to survive as a creative sort. So, yeah, I was going off to play a game of Astro, actually. So at about 45 minutes, and I was like, do you know what? I'll just write something really quick. So I was like, long lost brother, long lost sister. No, that sounds awful. Long lost friend. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I'll run with that. Threw a couple of things down, sent it off, rough demo. And then when I went off to play the game of football, I couldn't focus on actually playing, because I kept singing, you're a long lost friend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The hook was stuck in my head.
So catchy.
So then when I got home, your man had sent me an email back, and he was like, yeah, good start. Keep it edgy. Yeah, fair play. He expressed an interest in me developing it further, but I never wrote back to him.
Okay.
I'd grown possessive of the track, and it was interesting because I wrote it. It is. I guess it is quite catchy, and maybe it's catchier than.
It's ridiculously catchy, Greg. It's been stuck in my head in the most beautiful way. And sorry to cut you, but you also released a remix version as well, and that was by AX3. Right, released a remix version, which is also fantastic, and you added on a music video to the remix. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's Ian Flynn, who's the co-producer, engineer. He mixed it, he mastered the whole Long Lost Friend track and Lines of Desire, and he's just started up a new identity, a new act name, AX3. So I just got onto it. I said, look, he expressed an interest in remixing them. And there's another one as well to come out later in the year. But it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I found myself maybe even getting a bit more fond of listening to that one. It's cool to hear him taking the components of what I put in place and reimagining it, and reinterpretations. I think he did a smashing job with it.
And you get to enjoy it for a second time, almost like with fresh ears, almost like you say. You listen to one song so many times, obviously it starts to lose on you a little bit. But to have a remix version, you're getting that different angle towards it as well. So it's really great. And the music video is lovely as well, because I know it's difficult to sort of film these days, right? So
yeah, well, the video was. I had to put some kind of visual accompaniment to it, and I was like, well, I can't. I didn't really have it in me to go out and try and shape something from scratch. So I just went on to, what did I Google? Public domain films. And so I went through a few, and the one I landed on was Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women. And I just cut it up, and I kind of shaped my own narrative.
Brilliant.
And it does actually, if you watch it and listen to lyrics, it does kind of line up.
Yeah, I felt
about that the departure, in the video, the departing Earth.
Definitely.
It's leaving something that's negative behind.
Yeah, I didn't know it was from a film, right? So I thought it was maybe like stock footage or generic sort of footage thing, but it's from actually a film, which is interesting. Have you watched the film?
Well, I did-ish.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Taking bits of it.
But I didn't. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't recommend anyone go and watching the film. But I certainly would recommend people watch the remix of Long Lost Friend.
I second on that one for sure. But right now we're going to check out your recording that you recorded with us, was about 2 weeks ago, of Open Fire, which I'm really looking forward to. So if Keito, you want to try that up for the guys, enjoy it back home. This is Open Fire by Greg Clifford. Mine by default, because I'm not going to put Greg on the spot like this. I'm going to have to, put myself in the sea of potential embarrassment, but I'm going to do it for you guys at home, and of course to make Greg feel super comfortable. He's definitely going to be the bigger man in this with regard to knowing his stuff. So let's bring it. Are we ready for this, Keito? Okay. So this is the quiz with Greg Clifford. I am not looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to Greg seeming like a really well-educated musician here. I'm not looking forward to myself seeming like a more unlearned character in the musical industry. But sure, this is what I do for entertainment for you guys at home. And Greg, are you ready for this?
I am. You haven't seen the questions now, have you?
I haven't actually.
You're not trying to diddle me.
Dude, I wouldn't do that to you, man. No way. I promise you, I actually haven't seen the questions. So Keito, are you there? Are you gonna announce? Are we just gonna put them up on screen, or are you just gonna tell us the questions? How do you want to do this? We got music quiz popping up there. Yeah, cool. So guys, you at home as well, if you want to put in the answers. Yeah, okay, we do it one by one. And I have the comments section away. I'm not looking at the comments. So if you guys in the comments want to answer these questions as well, I know Lindsay's there. She's just handed in her PhD dissertation there a couple of weeks ago. So I'm sure she's going to have some fun with this one, Lindsay. And anybody else, do take part. Yeah, let's go. So Greg first, I guess, is it? You can read that, Greg, can't you? Yeah, we'll see what the questions.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to pop up, hopefully. All right, so what is another name for pitch standard?
Pitch standard?
Greg has to answer this one, right? Okay.
Pitch standard? Jesus. I don't know. I suppose... Oh, God, I don't know. Actually, is it just the note A that an orchestra would tune up to?
Ooh, does that mean he got it right? No way. Well done. All right, cool. So this is me. How many notes are in a diatonic scale? That's easy. There's clearly 12. 7.
Ooh, that's kind of controversial.
Is it?
I mean, you got it wrong anyway. But you could potentially say it's 8. Anyway,
I was gonna say 8.
Anyway, what is this symbol? That is the bass clef.
That's an easy one. Come on, I should have gotten that
All right.
one. Feck's sake, Greg. That's not fair. Hey, what's this symbol called? That is the accent symbol. What?
Oh, you got done in. It's a crescendo.
Oh,
that is
what?
tough. I'd give you that.
Thank you. Keito, you're a bit harsh on the answers there now. What is the smallest note value that cannot be beamed together?
Jesus.
That's a weird one.
That is a mad one. Do you know what? I'm just going to say the hemi-demi-semi-quaver. The 1/64th. Nah. I'm going to go with that answer anyway.
Unlucky. Quarter note crotchet. Okay. That's.
Oh, yeah. Fucking good. You're doing well there.
Okay, so what is the ascending order of notes in the ledger lines of a treble stave? What is the ascending order of notes on the ledger lines? The ledger lines. Now, I believe that the ledger lines are the spaces, if I'm not mistaken, like a ledger. So, what is the ascending order? Geez, I couldn't tell you what order. I always struggled with this one. I had to use like a thing. So I'll just say E, D, E, F, G. What? Oh my God. Yeah, I forgot. I knew it started with E though. Every good boy deserves fruit. Forgot that.
What is the instrument playing?
All right, so what's the instrument? This is so embarrassing. I know that.
Would that be the bass clarinet?
I'm thinking clarinet too. Ooh, bassoon. I thought bassoon was a little bit deeper. You would assume so, right? Bassoon.
Semi-diddle there now.
Keito's making...
He's enjoying this.
He's
Look at
making
him. I
it
can
tough.
see him smirking.
Yeah. What is the instrument... Oh, sorry. Is this another one? Okay, so this is another one for me then. Okay. Like my dad plays in the orchestra. Like I hope he's not watching this. This is embarrassing. I feel like this is going to be like a trick.
Oh God.
All right.
Bit of Coldplay.
It sounds like a trumpet, but it could be a French horn. So I'll go for it's a tuba. No, it's a trumpet. It's a trumpet. Okay.
What? Loving it.
What is it? It's a French horn. Oh, it is. I was playing around with it. Okay, I'll take it. All right, cool. Oh, here. Jesus, thank God I don't have to do that one now. Okay, how is he supposed to measure? Well, get your tuner out.
I'll get the piano.
No, that's cheating, Greg. That's cheating.
I got it wrong anyway.
Oh, there you go. I'll go to test it. Right, there we go. Yeah. All right, cool.
Is that piano in tune?
I don't think so. I think it's a little bit off. Yeah. Okay, sing a C. Are you serious? You're really giving me these hard questions. C. How do you even know? Check the piano.
He's loving it, isn't he?
Check the out of tune piano.
Can we get that junkie back in to check the piano?
All right, bonus questions. Okay. Let's do this. All right. That's you, Greg, I believe. Do you want to put on some background music there, Keito?
Is that the infamous hemi-demi semi-quaver?
God, even saying that is making me dizzy. Oh, nice.
Love
Wow. That's a pretty long one there. 256th note. Wow. What is the solo instrument in this musical piece called? The solo instrument. Okay, here we go. I should be able to get these ones. Like, I've been to concerts. Like, I'm not an idiot.
You go to gigs, yeah?
I do, but I've gone
Do you
to
remember what a gig is?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, but like, yeah. Oh, it's a tin whistle, or is it a recorder? It's either a tin whistle or a recorder. I think it's a tin whistle. Tin whistle. Oh, it's a recorder. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't be given that.
The first ever instrument.
Give me half a point for that. Half a point. I'll take half a point.
That's the first ever instrument I played.
No way. Well, that's what they teach you in primary school, isn't it, generally?
I actually went to lessons with a teacher, but I played a wooden recorder, so there was a different timbre and tone to it.
Oh, okay. Because usually you'd get kind of a plasticky sort of one, wouldn't you?
The plastic thing is horrendous, yeah.
Yeah.
The wooden is actually quite a sweet tone.
Yeah. Great. Is that so? What's the total scores there? How do we do? I think I got half a point. Greg won. Okay, guys.
I didn't do great though, but I'm happy that I won.
I think that was fun though. Yeah, so that was the first time we've done something like this, obviously, in the middle of our show. So I hope you guys enjoyed the randomness of that. I thought it was cool. I think that's definitely something that's your forte. Well, hey. But I really enjoyed that, even though like my dad is probably just like, here, what the hell, get him off the TV. He's not my son, but that's absolutely fine. So listen, I guess we'll finish up. Is there anything you want to close off with, Greg? Actually, anything you want to just tell us that's perhaps coming out, or anything you want to just promote about yourself before we get into your 2 upcoming songs now that we play?
Just not much. I mean, just check us out on Instagram, Greg Clifford Music, and I'm on Spotify, and just give us an like. That's all I need from you.
Okay, give them more than a like, guys. Give them a share, give them a play, recommend them to your friends as well, because it's really important, to be helping out independent artists, especially during these times. And Greg is a fantastic artist, I have to say. So his details are in the description there. So go follow his Facebook page as well, and check out all of his other Instagrams as well, of course. And put his tune, Long Lost Friend, put that into your Spotify playlist, guys. It's an absolute cracker, trust me. You're going to listen to it right now, Long Lost Friend, and then after that, we're going to be listening to Brontide. Enjoy.